Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Ronin Man here. I'm still in Tokyo. I'm kind of in the Vice district right now, Kabukicho, and we got a great place to stay. Super good deal. These are love hotels here, by the way. You rent by the hour, and 2 hours. Let's see, $3,900. So basically, what is that? About $25, $27, something like that for 2 hours. You get all this stuff. Nice room. It's gonna be a very nice room. Usually there's a lot of sexy stuff in there, like maybe a heart-shaped bath or heart-shaped bed, and just tons of lubrication, tons of stuff that you would want, in that kind of situation. Anyway, so today I want to talk about Chinese women's crazy demands. So there's a bunch of videos online now talking about which are quite interesting because it's very China specific, right? Chinese women's demands. By the way, I'm in Japan, if you guys don't know. So these are not Chinese women. I'm just kind of showing you kind of the love hotel scene out here. There's a whole bunch of them here. There's really pretty ones in other parts of Japan, but these are solid. These are reliable places. And they have good deals too. You can stay here too. So after 10 o'clock, basically. After 10 o'clock, you can stay till 11 in the morning for $60, right? You get your room, you get basically usually these places have like porn on every channel. So there's like a huge TV with every porn channel you could ever imagine. And then another TV with a whole nother set of porn channels. So it's pretty hilarious. If you bring a girl in here, it usually ends up being a good fuck, just because there's so many funky things in these rooms. There's like handles here and there, and sometimes some of these things have like a boat where you can stand like a captain, and you can bone her like Titanic. He goes up to the front, right? There's all kinds of funky, like really kitschy stuff, but it makes it good. It's fun. I always liked love hotels. They're a good time. But so Chinese women, right? So I say it's interesting that different countries' women, because we're not talking about Chinese Americans, we're talking about mainland China and their demands, right? Like in the old days, you'd never hear about what other countries' women were demanding from men. But now with the global situation, right, it's like, it's important, right? People want to know, like, is this like a paradise for sweet, feminized women? People are always kind of wondering, where should I go and all that. So anyway, there's these videos that are kind of letting the cat out of the bag, which of course, guys that lived in China for a long time, like myself that speak Chinese, we knew a lot, right? We kind of knew the scene before any of these videos came out, right? And this is like the bar area, so these guys have been drinking all night. These guys, this is like the bar area. Guys have been working all night, drinking all night, hanging out. So now it's like 10 in the morning, right? So it's like they've been partying. These guys have been partying all night. Here's the host clubs here. These are hilarious. I did a video about the host clubs, so if you guys want to watch it, I could put that in the description too. It's totally worthwhile, actually. Yeah, here's all the host clubs. And the chicks that give all their money to these guys, then they basically become prostitutes afterwards because they can't afford to pay, because the guys demand like huge amounts of money. It's all run by the mafia and everything, of course. But it's very interesting. It's a very Japan-centric kind of industry. There's a lot of things in Japan that are quite interesting, that you can see kind of aspects of human nature that you might not know, or you might not even be aware of in your own home country, just because they don't, for some reason they don't pop up, right? Here they pop up. So anyway, what is going on with these Chinese women? So basically they're demanding all kinds of crazy shit. I'll put the video. That's not that surprising. And then kind of like, it was interesting because a friend of mine sent me this and he said, yeah, but the women are now having to soften their demands, and they basically they don't worry about it that much. That's kind of what people are saying. My friend wasn't exactly saying that, but like the feeling was, and this is the feeling, okay? This is the feeling, is that they're in control. So, okay, so they demanded these crazy things, But now all of a sudden they're softening their demands. So it's going to be okay. Is basically kind of the mindset, right? But I say, is it going to be okay? And let's delve deeper into this. And I don't want this to be a long video. I just want to give you a quick kind of summary. So, if a woman has high demands, you need to be very, 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 very cautious. Because why? Why do you need to be cautious? Why is that scary? Is because even if she softens her demands, it doesn't mean shit. It does not mean shit. And why is that? It's the same reason why, let's say you're a software engineer making $80,000 a year. Now, let's say that, bad things happen, war happens, whatever, and you're not able to, your company gets bombed, times are tough, and your dad loses his job, you're having to support your mom, you get cancer, whatever, something terrible happens. So next thing you know, you don't have that job, and it's not there. What are you going to do? You're going to take a crappy job until the good job comes up. So this is the way women look at men. They basically think, well, okay, I'm going to soften my demands. But does that change anything? Or is that actually the biggest trap of all? Because what's the biggest trap? The biggest trap is if a girl does not, it's like a scammer. There's a scammer out there, right? If he doesn't scam you, you don't care about him. He doesn't bother you, right? You know he's scamming, you see he's a scammer, but he didn't take your money, you don't care, right? I mean, you care a little bit about society and everything, but basically, he's not on your radar. As your brain is very efficient, it wants to only remember things that are important. So naturally, it's not going to waste a lot of time thinking about something that doesn't really concern you, right? So when a woman makes a demand, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means that she considers herself to be at that level. Okay, now, just like your job, you're gonna take that crappy job, but you also know that the minute a better job comes up, you're just gonna grab it because this is like a placeholder. You're gonna tell the guys, if you really need a job, you might tell them, hey, I'll make a career out of making these burritos or whatever, But if you were making good money before that in a high value job that used your education and everything, then it's just waiting. It's just, you can see the situation. The time, not only is the clock ticking, okay, but you have no remorse. Would you have any remorse about leaving that job? Just think about it for yourself. Would you have any remorse? Would you be like, oh, I feel so bad for this crappy fast food restaurant that I slaved my ass away at for a small amount of money because now I got a job making $100,000 or $500,000, whatever your standard expectation for salary is, right? What's your history, salary, right? Whatever that is, you get that again, you're going to be happy. You get more, you're going to be happier. You won't have any regret. You'll never think, ever, you're never going to think, oh my God, I miss that job. I miss those people. I miss making burritos and slaving away and the guy yelling at me, because they don't have any money and everything. And trying to save napkins or whatever, it's never going to bother you because you know that you're better than that, okay? I mean, that's just the way we think as humans. I'm better than that. I can make better than that. I've worked hard to get, whatever you did, to get my licenses, to get my education, to get my experience. And now I basically don't have to do whatever that old thing was, right? So I can now, this is like the total bar area here, but I tell you, there's a lot of good meat around here. There's some great restaurants, actually. Tasty food around here. So that's how girls think of you. Exactly. It's very simple. Girls are like, okay, that guy was great. You know, I got no resentment against the guy. You know, she's got no resentment against you. She's not like, you're a terrible guy because of this thing or that thing. She doesn't care. Only thing she cares about. What does she care about? She only cares about one thing. And that is basically getting back to whatever it is that she feels is what she deserves or her. It's just like you. You want to get back on track. Okay, you got off track. Now you're going to get back on track. That's basically the way she looks at it. So, and it's nice. She might have even good feelings about you. Like, you might be grateful for that job that got you going during the bad times, right? But that's it. That's as far as it goes. There's no emotional attachment. It wasn't essentially real. It was real, but it wasn't real given, it was real given the options you had. It wasn't real given new options, right? Once you have new options, hey, what's up? YouTube, hey, how you girls doing? How's the food? Oishi? Honda? Nani? Okay, okay.
Very good
See
taste.
you. Arigato. Okay. Two. Okay. All right, so we're cruising, right? So this area is great. I like this area. I've always liked this area. Like, I've always felt, I lived over here like about 10, 15-minute walk. So this was like kind of my backyard. And the people are nice here. You know, they're in the different industries they're in, but they're nice people. You can see right there. I should have spoken more Japanese just to kind of, some guys are like, oh, he doesn't speak Japanese. It's just like I'm talking English, right? So anyway, so you want to know, okay? You really want to know, because as if you want to get serious about a girl, you want to know what is in her mind, okay? Her secret mind, what she expects. What job does she consider her baseline? Now the problem is she's not going to tell you. So what happens is she's going to take you, okay, for when she takes you, right? So for example, she wants to go somewhere special on holiday. She wants to do something. She's gonna take you, and then you're gonna think, oh wow, I'm batting out of my league. But then as soon as that thing's over, or that period is over, maybe she wants a wedding, maybe she wants a trip, she'll be like, oh, I'll settle for this job, right? At this moment, right? What's up, man? Hey, how you doing? And then I'll go back to doing my other job, right? That's exactly the way they think. So what you want to do is realize that you're never going to know a woman's mind. It's just not going to happen. So because you'll never know a woman's mind, you will never know what she expects. And the problem is she doesn't even know, because, you know, let's face it, we can all be unrealistic. Like sometimes we'll say, oh, I'm going to be the president of this. And the reason why you do that is to kind of bolster your own confidence so that you can interview for the job. And maybe you can, maybe you can't, but you find out in life what you can do, what you can't do, right? But it takes time, because when you're young, you don't know what your value is. You know, you're like, oh, maybe I could be this, or maybe I could be that. And then over time you realize, okay, that was over my head. Like, I didn't have the skills when I needed them in order to do that thing. And then later, when it was too late, I had the skills or something, right? You'll get realistic, okay? So girls, they might get realistic, they might not, but especially when it comes to men, I don't think girls should be too realistic, because in my experience is I found that the ugliest girls getting the hottest guys too. Like, if I was a girl, I wouldn't be realistic at all. Seriously. If I was a girl, I would be going for the best guy. I'd be going for the billionaire. 100%. I'm not saying I wouldn't have backups, but I would definitely go for the top, because I know human beings, and once you're with somebody, they might just kind of be happy with you. I've seen this many times. The guy's like super high level guy. And then everybody, and like all these other podcasts, these other fucking podcasts, they always say something like, oh, you know, a high level guy like this would never accept this or accept that. That's totally bullshit. Humans are humans. Once the girl's hooked you, she's got you. And even the highest level guy can end up with the lowest level girl. And all it takes is time with that girl. So you need to really be careful who you spend time with. It's a very dangerous thing to spend time with an ugly girl or a fat girl because you think, oh, I'm going to be able to extricate myself. No, what happens is you and her, regardless of how she looks, regardless of everything, you're two living creatures, like a dog and a person, right? Once that dog's in the house, you're going to grow fond of that dog if you like dogs. And eventually, you're going to love that dog. Even though that dog, you never planned on getting that dog, it's not the dog you wanted, whatever, you will become fond of that thing and never underestimate your like male bonding with a female. Like you will just start to bond with any girl. And I was always very aware of this for myself because I know I'm weak. Fuck, I know I'm a man. I tell you, I can have a girl like super low level and I can start to kind of like her over time. So it's quite dangerous for me. So I'm always very on the edge. I mean, I will spend time with girls that I know that I really don't care about, but I'm always very careful. Like a lot of guys on the channel, they're all super confident. Like they can just shut it off and let it go. I know I'm weak because I'm a man and I'm a human. So I do watch my own, I keep my human nature under control by not letting it get to a certain point. In other words, like I'm aware, just simply being aware of your own weaknesses will allow you, just being aware will allow you to head them off of the path. So, you know, one of the rules is like, you don't want to meet a girl too many times a week, right? Because if you do, you're going to become a sap. So I meet the girls once a week, you know, and that's it. And that way, she appreciates me when she's with me, and I appreciate her, and we have great sex, and she misses me when she's not near me, because women will always tell you they love a man more when they're missing him, when he's not with them, than when he's with them. So you want to like kind of leverage that part of female nature. They love you when you're not there the most. They miss you, and then you come, and then it's a kind of a letdown for them. That's the way women are. You just have to just kind of roll with certain things. How you play that is by not meeting them too often, because if you're around her too much, she's gonna wear you down. She's gonna win, okay? So I am aware of that. I'm also aware of my tendency as a man, as a human, to bond with people. And so I will get another girl as a kind of a backup. And then I know that I can meet this other girl, and that'll keep me from getting too sappy with the ugly girl. And then also too, at some level, I just get rid of her, because I know like if she stays around too many years, like she might do something really nice for me, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, this girl's like awesome. And then I'm stuck with this girl that I don't want. So I don't want to do that. So I keep myself, I'm aware. So what I'm saying is, guys, you're probably, very likely, much weaker than I am, just because you might not have the same options. So you need to be even more vigilant about your own human nature. And you need to, well, that's an amazing truck. They got these trucks that's like Japan only. What the heck, this must be some kind of sewage thing or something? I wonder what it is. It's some kind of a, yeah. I wonder what that is. Yeah, I don't think it's a gas truck. I wonder what it is. Anyway, oh, that's an interesting building there. That's like all K-pop bands. There's like all K-pop material, like souvenirs and all that, right? I'm kind of in the, over here, that way is like Koreatown, and just tons of cute girls, tons. It's totally different than here. This is a completely different vibe down here. This is more like the bars, degenerates, freewheeling, and Mafia, kind of that area we were just in. Down there is totally different, completely different. Like all past there and down there, like down the side streets are just little cute Korean restaurants with great bibimbap and tasty food. Totally worth going to. That's part of the reason why I love this area. The Korean influence, the Chinese influence, it really brings in a lot of hardworking people with good food. So there's a lot of interesting food around here. You always have Japanese food, tons of good Japanese food, but you also have the influence of these other cultures, and it comes out in the sauces and the flavors and all that. And then also you got the manual labor. They're willing to work harder, because they're not Japanese, right? So basically, I went on so many topics, and I may as well just keep going on topics. So this is my place where I buy my breakfast. It's the 100 yen store. It's kind of like the dollar store. So we got all these fruits here, and it's all very cheap. And they got all kinds of vegetables and stuff. It's like, this place is amazing. So I can get 100 yen and get some komatsuna. I don't know what that is in English, but it looks good. It looks healthy and fresh and in season, and it's 80 cents or whatever, so something like that. Super cheap. Might be $1. Let's see what else is good. I like these slimy potatoes. I don't know what they're called. I think it's a type of gobo, but anyway, that's good. So I'll get some of that. I'm just picking out some breakfast here. Then I went to the gym yesterday, so I definitely need some eggs. So I'm gonna get, they got these delicious boiled eggs here. The Japanese, they just know how to make eggs. I swear, so tasty. This is 158 yen, so 2 of these is just over $1. And they're absolutely delicious. Perfect for after the gym. So I need 4 eggs, get some protein in there. This is my breakfast here before we go to Yokohama. And then the beach for the weekend. Let's see what else we got here. All kinds of coffees and stuff. This is a great place to know about, actually. Let's see, I want to grab something there, but the guy's there. So one thing I like to get is frozen blueberries. So I like these. These are a really good deal. Get some frozen blueberries. Then I'll just thaw those out and put those in a yogurt. Let's see, so get a yogurt here. This is like the same thing. It's like super cheap. 132 yen. So it's like $1. And it's like high quality, plain yogurt, no sugar. Amazing. They got non-fat and they got fat. I like the fat one. So let's see, I got veggies, I got fruits, I got protein, I got some probiotics, and let's see if they have, oh yeah, they have it, okay, so here's something else that's really awesome. So this is Japanese baked sweet potato. Can you see that in there? Yeah, this is like so delicious. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this is like cheap and good, and it's like, that right there is a tasty breakfast. So for like less than $10, I'm gonna eat all this, and then we'll head out somewhere else. So I'll catch you guys at the beach. Thanks for listening.